Hello, and welcome to Tae Kwon Do training. I'll be instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. What I'm going to do in today's show is a couple of easy combinations as I try to make it easy each week. What I want to do is maybe a block, either a foot block and then a kick, following with a kick, or a hand block and following with a foot, and just a lot of different types of blocks. I'm going to go pretty fast, try to get a lot of them, and then the ones that you like, just practice in the mirror, and they're going to be very easy, okay? And then I even have a chair, which I'm going to use for balance for people who might want to try some of these blocks, especially with the double kicks, and they don't want to lose their balance. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're in a left fighting stance. Hands are always up. Hands are always up in left fighting stance. And again, and I, you know, people go, he says this every week. Of course I say it every week because it's really important. Fighting stances. Your hands are up. Look at very loose, very nice and relaxed. Shoulder width apart on your feet. Right? Your shoulder width apart. This is shoulder width. This is not, and this is not. All right. This is how we walk all day. All right. So here we go. All right. Now see how my knees are nice and relaxed, my ankles are relaxed, my upper body's relaxed. That's how you want to be. I see some martial artists, and I mean black belts who trained for years who are still too tight. And you gotta grab them by the shoulders and say, slow down and relax. You know, if you fight like this, you're too tight. You can't get any speed or mobility or power. In combinations are terrible. But if you relax, all right, your body's relaxed. And if you make a mistake, you make mistakes. It doesn't matter. Don't have to be tense. All right, so we're in that fighting stance here. Let's go with something pretty easy. Well, what I call this in a crescent block, all right? In a crescent block. And what you do is, again, you pick up your chamber the leg. Notice I put my foot this way and not this way because I'm going to be coming around this way. So someone's coming in with either a kick or some kind of attack. Right? Say they have a weapon stuff and you're coming in. All right? So what we do is we make sure we chamber midsection, all right, or chamber as high as you can, all right, at a 45-degree angle in front of, facing your opponent or your attacker, all right, 45-degree, and then swing it in to the other 45-degree and then bring it back down, keeping it chambered. Here, boom, right? Pretty easy. Look at it. Now I'm relaxed. You practice, and when I show you these exercises, practice one move at a time in the mirror or with your friends, and then when we do the combinations, you add the second move. And if you do 2, 3, 4, 5 combinations, it doesn't matter. You practice one at a time, and you're getting a good workout. Because if you're here and you do this 10 times in the mirror, you just practice this block 10 times. You got a workout. Now we can do this. You can actually do it low section, right? You can do it midsection here, or you can come up and do it high section. High section I used to use as a kick in tournaments. Because if I would tie up with people, we'd get real close. We'd tie up. I'd come straight up, come around their body, and try to hit them in the head, which is perfectly illegal. It's legal, all right? Until this, you know, when you tie up with someone quick, until they tell you to stop, you can throw a punch or you can fall back and kick. The minute they say break, you're supposed to stop. So when you tie up, and when I say tie up, that means you're either wrapping yourself around each other or you both competitors are tight together and no one's moving. All right, so that's pretty easy. Do both sides. Look at, all right. Nice and easy, all right? Nice and easy. And then snap it. I'm going to keep it kind of midsection for everyone. Again, those who want to train, never trained before, and this is what we call an inner crescent kick, what I'm doing here. All right? Okay. Now I'm just holding this very lightly. You can hold any chair. This is a kind of a flimsy chair. If you're pushed down, you might drop it and hurt yourself. You just want it for balance. All right? All right. If you need a chair. You don't have a chair, use a wall, use a friend holding you, just so you don't lose your balance. All right, so when we did that inner crescent block, all right, we're setting ourselves up, and I'm setting my body up for the kick. So I blocked, but then I want to throw a kick. All right, so number of kicks you can do, but you want a kick that's going to be something that's, you know, compatible to the body positioning that you're in. So if I was here, all right, say I did this intercrossing kick here, I don't think I'd want to do a front round kick with the same foot. See, I don't think I'd want to come here and then, now I move my whole body around. That's not compatible. But from here, side thrusters, right? So what I did was, I did the block, down, side thrust. Right? I did the block, down, right? And then you pick up speed. You do both sides, block, down. As I touch the ground with the blocking foot, I turn my body so I can do a side thrust kick. Okay? See this foot? I'm not putting it down. When I'm doing the combinations I'm not putting that foot, planting that foot. You plant that foot, you lost a second. Gravity's got a hold of you. You're not relaxed, all right? So you don't plant the foot. 1, down, 2, right? That's intercrescent block, down, side thrust. You can have blocked and kick without bringing and then being ready, okay? So block and kick. Notice how I just kept the foot up, kept the leg up. Now, you want to practice that with the chair, all right? Block, look at, see how I transitioned myself? Side thrust. I'm keeping it midsection. But I blocked, say if you had, say, a knife or something, and I blocked his hand, I blocked that hand out of the way, then I'm right ready to throw a side thrust. That's why after we do the block and we're not going to touch the ground, we chamber right away, and then we throw the side thrust kick. If we're not going to keep our leg up, look at I turned, touch the ground, and then the minute I touch it, right, I don't touch it and let it hit and straighten up, block down, side thrust kick. Okay? That's pretty easy. That's intercrescent. You can also do the same block. Right? Now, your hands are up here. You can also be doing blocks like this. Then you do your leg blocks, depending on what your opponent is doing at the time. But you're here. This time, I'm going to do an intercrescent block again, which is an easy block. And remember, practice this as much as you can. A lot of times people come in up too straight. That would end up being a front snap kick. You want to come around and see how my foot is straight up in the air? I have my whole foot to block, all right, the attacker. All right, so once I have this and I'm in this position, now if I was to do a side thrust, look at, I'm in a nice angle here, side thrust. But if I want to do a hook kick, all right, so I'm coming in this way, and then I come back this way, catches them right off guard. I want to go a little deeper with my landing, which means I'm going farther in so that I can swoop it back, okay? So I'm here. See how I'm here, and then I come back here, and then I'm ready, right? So I'm here. I did a front round kick, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Right? That brings me to mind. So in a crescent here, and then hook kick, or front round kick here, hook. You can mix them up. All right, front round is a kick. In a crescent's a block, but as I say, you can use it as a kick. And not too much down here will do damage, but up here will, in a crescent if you get to the face. Okay? So that's outer crescent, inner crescent. I see inner crescent's this way, outer crescent's this way. All right, inner crescent comes on the inside, you're instep, inner crescent, instep, outer crescent, outside of your foot. Two different kicks. We'll do both. All right, I'm going to take this chair and put it on an angle here so that I can get this here and come back here. All right? If I put it here, I might be in my own way. See what I'm saying? So put a little angle there. Now this is for people who want to have, who need a little balance. If you have friends holding you or up against the wall, a table, make sure it's kind of sturdy and you're not going to fall. I say the same thing over and over, but I have to. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Adults, listen to me, all right? You know, but children don't. They hear what they want to hear and they just want to go, which is great. But if they have a chair, a little chair or whatever, and they don't fall, they're going to fall. All right, they're going to fall and they're going to hurt themselves. Little children can hurt themselves just as much as a grown-up, especially if this falls down and you hurt your arm, you break it. You don't want to hurt anything. So precaution on everything. All right, I'm holding here. One, down. See how I kind of even turn my hip a little? My hip's not the same as it would be for a side thrust. It's here so that I can swing it back. And I'm swinging that kick 45 again, right? 45 back and down. I can use my heel for the hit, or I can use my instep to extend. My heel will make that impact. A heel to the head or the body is going to make a major impact, like a breaking a board. Or the instep won't make as much of an impact because it's a slapping motion, but you'll get another 2 or 3 inches. And if you go high section, you're going to hit here. It's going to do damage. Won't do the damage of the heel. So the heel, again, is the heel here. You got to tuck the foot in. If you want to extend, you have to come that way, okay? Same thing with a front round kick. When you come here, if you come in, curl your toes in, you're kicking with the balls of your feet. You're getting that small area on the ball of your feet or the tip of your sneaker. All the power is going right through that small area. If you extend, now it's the slapping motion. You're still going to get some good power, believe me. And you're going to pick up speed with it extended because it's nice and loose. But when breaking boards and stuff, you always want to kind of use the ball of your foot because the instep to break a board, you can hurt your instep. So just use that here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Remember, if I'm holding here, I'm still keeping this hand up. Right? So normally we're always hands are here, but if not, this hand stays up. And it acts like that. This right here all the time, and keeping up straight, your body will get aligned with gravity. Your body gets used to your balance this way. Now, if you're normally throwing kicks this way and that way, gravity is trying to rip you down. So the problem is a lot of people don't have the stretch. And when they want to throw a high kick, the only way you can throw a high kick is going down here. Keep it midsection if you have to for a while. And if you can never do a high section kick, that's fine. Keep it midsection. But try to keep up as straight as possible. All right? Instead of bending way over for a side thrust. And you will see, I see a lot of black belts, masters, grandmasters that do a lot of bending, right, because of their stretch. But they're grandmasters and black belts. They've trained for many, many years. So their balance, they figured out the balance over the years. But when you start off as a beginner, you don't have that balance. Okay, so try to remember that. See how I come over? And then I come over here, do hook kick. All right. I kind of like that. And now the same thing is, those blocks are good for exercises up and down the school. You know, you come in, you're 1, then 2, then you do the opposite side, 1, and you go back and forth, and you go down to school, you turn around, you come back. Now, if you're training in your house, go down a couple feet, turn around, come back. What a workout, all right? Or do it in the mirror. Great when you want to, you have a friend that has a pad, okay? And the great thing that now is, years ago we had to go, we wanted pads, we wanted nunchucks. We had to go to the store, some kind of martial arts store. You can't find, now you order anything you want on, Amazon or wherever. You just order it. Say, I want that, and it's at your house the next day. It's a beautiful thing. So anything you want, pads and stuff, as they say, martial art pads. You had to find a martial arts store back in the day. Right? No one was, you weren't going to be able to go on a phone. There were no phones. Right? The phone was on your wall in your kitchen. All right? Showing my age, I know, but all right. So you're here, all right. When we're going to do an outer crescent kick, all right. So inner crescent comes out this way, 45, 45. Outer crescent comes the same way, but you got to do a little turn, and then this way. in a crescent this way, out a crescent. Notice, look at, see, this is the motion. Look at my foot, right? And back. Block, keep it up there, chamber, and then back. You don't want to go, all right? You don't want to go. I can't even do it. It's kind of, but that's what people do. They do the block and then they drop. You got to chamber, you come back. All right, chamber, I say that word every class, all right? Up, block. That's a nice block too because a lot of power in that one. You're hitting with the outside of your foot, all right? Your knife edge of your foot. All right, and this is the knife edge of the foot. And I tell my students, there's your knife edge right there. If you hit someone here in the ribs with that block, all right, or an attack, you can bust the rib, a floating rib. All right? You go high section, you can hit them in the head area, okay? But you can use it as the block. Now, as I say, I like the flow. All right, I try never to fight myself, and I figure whatever I'm going to do, what's the next move, whether it's hands or feet, that's going to coincide with the direction I'm going and the way my body's moving, so that I can get the next kick off or technique off that'll coincide with it. So there's a couple that coincides with this, and it's the block down. All right, I was going to do a reverse. I won't do that now. One, down, I stop, and then front round kick. Or, all right, you could do block, down, front snap kick. All right? Could be block, down, push kick. All right? You probably wouldn't want block, then turn and side thrust. You see how that's awkward? That's what I mean. There's no flow in that. So you probably wouldn't do the block and then do a side thrust with this kick. Because now you got to turn, and it just doesn't work. You're stopping yourself, and you're trying to get balance. So you do whatever you can, keep the balance and the flow. Okay? That'll trip me right up. All right, so here we go. We're here. One, down. Hands are up here. Two, front round kick. I'm keeping a midsection. All right? One, down. Front snap. And you see how I'm coming back here? Because I can throw as many kicks as I want, combinations, as long as my feet are up and I get into a good stance. Never drop into a long stance, all right? Because if you do, now against gravity has taken you forward or to the side. This is a little more advanced. If you one, down. Now, if I'm going to do a reverse round kick or a straight back kick, because I'm going in that direction after, look at it, I'm already going in the direction of a nice spin kick. And I know it's if you're new, it's a little more advanced, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so I'm here. I go one, down. Notice I put my foot almost on the other side of the foot here. All right, after I do the block, all right, I don't stop here, because now I'm not going to turn. But if I go boom, boom, look at it. I'm going to bounce off. Once this lands, I'm going to bounce off it, and then I'm just going to throw a straight kick. See how that coincides? It goes whoa, whoa, and it catches people off balance, too. It's pretty good. All right? You're here. Look at, again, remember this. Block back here. I'm getting a little dramatation here. Dramatation, excuse me, going that far. But I don't want you to end up here. I don't want you to go 1, 2. I want you to go 1, 2. So that if I turned, I'm in a fighting stance again. Okay? And you can work that way too. You figure you did your block, you turn. Right? I don't want you to, when you're going to do this, don't just turn your head and look to the back, because you never want to. Here's your opponent. Okay? Then spin, all right? And that's how I want you to practice here. 1, 2, all right? Don't throw a kick. You're here. Now, again, this is fighting. I'm doing that from a dead stop, all right? But you want to practice, you're here. Look at it. And it kind of flows. You know what you're going to do. You're looking at him. So if you block that, hand coming in, you blocked it out, he's going to be wide open up here with a reverse round kick. Or maybe if you block, he does this, you either hit him with a reverse round kick or straight back kick, because he could be wide open. And if he's got a weapon, you got to take him out. You got to stop the bad guy here. Right? So practice kind of in the mirror. Boom, boom. Then once you finally feel good about that, right, start doing the straight back kick, which would probably be the easiest of two. Right, so you're here. Right. 1, 2. And it comes natural after a while. 3. And I'm going slow, but I've turned, right? And side thrust kick. Then and right here, my foot never really touches the ground. It's here, but there's still. Again, once you turn, if I turn and planted it, I'm stuck to the floor for a second. You don't want that feeling. You want to be always bouncing, and you're bouncing. Look at your body is like it's like shock absorbers and springs, like your car, right? Right here and right here. Wing. And once you get that feeling, always, especially you want to be a good fighter, you want to be fast, right? And it's funny because, like, say, boxing is a whole nother world, and a lot of boxers, flat-footed, they come in, and they just use sheer power. They're not having a finesse fast move here around here. They're coming in like this, and they're just playing. But, then you had the Sugar Ray Leonards and the Muhammad Alis, and they had a whole new world. And that world would caught a lot of people off guard because they're bouncing around. They're trying to get hit. And now the other guy's walking like this, trying to throw those uppercuts and wild haymakers, getting tired. And you're moving around and you're dancing because you've done this at the gym for hours and hours. And every once in a while you drop a. You can do that with your kicks too. Move around. If someone's they're fighting like this, you move around. You make them chase you and make them come into your area and use some of these blocks. So, practice in a mirror. Try to use the chair or a friend if you can. Practice on a pad. Pads are fun, right? Especially if you have 2 pads. Right? So if you had one and you're blocked here, you come down and you hook. All right? You're hitting 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, it's fun, and you're getting used to it. You're getting used to it. And then you can have, 1 and then 2, and the guy moves back, so you're moving forward. Or he's come to you. So you try to make up exercises and workout routines that will help you spar. And if not spar, protect yourself so you can move around quick. The only way you can move around quick on any of this stuff that I've shown you tonight is by doing a lot of it. Repetition is the only thing. And in any exercise, any art, martial art, any sport, if you don't have the repetition every day or every other day, whatever it works, you've got to make it so that you have that repetition, and you do it over and over. You do something over and over and over, and I don't care what it is, you get good at it. Then as you get good at it, you don't even realize how relaxed you are. Now you're relaxed because you know what you're doing. You're not thinking about it. Your body just moves, all right? And then you say, well, if I had to fight, I wouldn't be fast enough. If you did thousands of them, and that's what separates people, time and, whether it's time or boredom or whatever it is, the ones who do it thousands of times and the ones who don't want to put that time into it, you're going to see. But if you did it thousands of times and, a couple of weeks of doing a lot of routines, you've already done it a couple of thousand times, all right? Do them 10 at a time, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 that adds up. You're getting into tremendous shape. And I'm talking every part of your body is going to get in tremendous shape because you're moving everything. And you're learning how to protect yourself, all right? So, again, you use the chair. Be careful. Parents, please do me a favor. Children want to, and I know a lot of parents come to me and say, my son, we have a ball watching you, and they know a new show. Be there with them. And I don't care if they're 5, 10, 15 is this kind of get a little older, they know what they're doing, but in 5 and 10 area, whenever they want to get crazy with each other, with their friends, oh, watch this, and then they hit each other. You don't want that. It has to be controlled all the time. And again, the more you do anything, the more repetition, the more schedule, the more you got to schedule each day or every other day, or whatever your schedule is, repetition, repetition, repetition. If you did 5 techniques, a couple of techniques we did today, and you did those over and over and over, your body just adjusts. Your body loosens up. It gets stronger. The muscles get stronger because as you're doing that exercise, they're getting strong. So now you're getting stronger and faster, all right, by doing the same exercises over and over. Boring, but then you get fast. And the good thing is it's not boring when you're showing at exhibitions or you're competing. Right? That's not boring anymore, but you're ready, all right? You have to be ready. And the only way to be ready is to train. Okay, so fighting stance, hands up all the time. Always remember that. I'm going to go through it again. Here, look at. In a crescent block down. If you're going to do the hook kick, come that way. If not, come down. See, I'm kind of straight up here so that I just pick up and side thrust kick. Again, say they had a knife or something. They come in, blah, I block. Now they're wide open. So I block them down, in, poof, straight in the midsection. Or the knee. You start feeling good, let's go high section, all right? Don't bend if you don't have to, all right? Especially when you start off martial arts. As you get higher at rank and you keep going, you can bend and try to keep your balance. You will, but it's not good practice in the beginning. You keep it midsection, low section, that's plenty. You hit someone anywhere around here, all right? You're going to do some, you're going to stop them, all right? So don't think, oh, it's not that flashy. Tae Kwon Do is flashy, but you don't have to be flashy. And then, once again, when you start the training like we did today and you're using your legs, you have to warm up a little. All right, you have to loosen up, do all kinds of little exercises, stretch the legs, all the stretches that you know. Google the whole thing on stretching. Learn those stretches. It'll help with your hips. It'll help with everything. When you're done, say we just did a half-hour workout and you're sweating, you're breathing heavy, loosen up nice and easy. Just relax, all right? Just calm it right down and stretch a little and try to relax your body. Get your heart rate down and your blood slowing down, and you can relax, all right? It's about all the time we have for tonight's show. I hope you enjoyed the show. Till next time, have fun and train hard.